What's going on? Lindsey Gamble here, HITP Music. We're here at Apparel as always, and I'm here with my guy Casso.
What's going on? How you doing?
Welcome, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, man. I'm enjoying it. Getting my life together. Happy about the future.
For real, how's everything else? How's the music coming along?
Music is cool. I'm more content with the music that I'm making. I'm getting better at using my energy and conveying it in like music that like better illustrates like what's going on in my life.
Yeah, definitely. So, people are calling this month of this month May. They're calling it Boston Mayhem because a lot of projects are coming out of the city. We had Latrell drop, we had Fritz, Avenue, Fran P dropping next week, and you have a project coming out.
Yeah, actually I do.
No release date. You always bring a surprise aspect to whatever you're doing.
I like that though. I feel like it keeps people on their toes because once you expect something or once you hype something up, if it doesn't live up to that expectations, it sort of like defies the purpose of all that promotion and marketing.
No, for real, because like when you drop music, it's exciting because it's not there's no announcement behind it, and you're kind of known as this person that drops music and it kind of disappears, digitally, but also you kind of fall back. Definitely one thing that has become a pattern. You'll drop a song, then you'll disappear off Twitter. You get great feedback. Do you feel like that's something that is gonna stop your progress? And why has there been that repeated kind of like that behavior that's been repeated?
In all honesty, I do feel like it has stifled me a lot because collectively I probably had about 7 Twitters. And if you carry all the times that I reached like 400 or 500 Twitters from different people, I probably have like a couple thousand followers right now. But a lot of the time it's because I take the time to stay closer to myself and know myself, especially because new eyes are getting on me with the music that I'm releasing, and I want to be sure of who I am as a person before I put myself out to the public. So I always disappear, but unfortunately it's starting to bite me in my eyes.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, being honest, I definitely think especially with music being so driven by the internet, and people do look at numbers, and every time you delete a Twitter, then they'll stop. You gotta start over, and then someone hears your song, they go to look for you, and then it's like you disappeared, and then you kind of stop your momentum going there. Yeah. But I think the thing I love about your music, you as a person, is you're very honest with yourself. Like a lot of people, we have conversations. A lot of people aren't very reflective. But speaking of that, you're supposed to drop a project.
Yeah.
Days Before the ROC.
Yes,
not many people have asked about the title itself, but I'm surprised. But explain the title.
Okay, Days Before the ROC. The title came because there was a point in 2014, fall of 2014, where I was 100% sure I was going to Roc Nation. There was nothing anybody could tell me. I thought that I have gathered the correct pieces and I was going there. Unfortunately, I fell short of that goal. And in falling short of that goal, some advice that was given to me was, Roc Nation is the type of company that if you have a name for yourself, they're gonna come after you, so get a name for yourself. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna drop a project, and it's gonna be so good that Roc Nation is gonna come to me. So this is basically the days before Roc Nation actually comes to me.
Word, definitely. It makes a lot of sense. Let's go into the actual project itself. I just listened to it last night and today. I like it. With you have it's usually dark. It's very personal, but you have some great singles out there, and For the Loot, which is definitely one of the probably I think it's safe to say one of the best singles to come out of the city over the last couple of years. You just dropped I Am the Connect maybe a couple of weeks ago. I also like Filthy Rich, and there's some other joints on it. But talk about those particular tracks in general, and kind of like the process of making those, and what do they represent? Because I think on the surface people just see those as like trap, just high energetic songs. But I know, knowing your music, I know there's something definitely bigger than that.
Yeah. I Am the Connect. That was more so. I have a bad habit, or at least a stigma to me, of like making music and telling you the dark side of everything that I do. I've never honestly been happy about anything in my music, and it was unfortunate, but given the genre of music that we're in right now, where like trap music is heavy, and there was a point in my life where I was happy doing certain things. It was like, okay, y'all weren't happy, I can talk about this happy point in my life. What people don't know is that I Am the Connect is actually 5 different songs put together.
Okay.
That we wrote the hook for "I Am the Connect" based off of the emotion and just being happy, like that moment where like whether you're doing a little person making little moves or a big person making big moves, like I'm the connect. I can say this and not lie to you. King Casso, he had a verse. He came over and he was just like, I got this verse. You should listen to it. I was like, it's perfect. And then my actual verse, I had a meeting with owner of the New York Knicks, and this is the transition to the whole Rock Nation thing. And right before the meeting, I was like, oh, this is over. I'm about to get signed. I'm about to get signed. So in the verse, it even says like, guess who fucked around, stumbled on a mill. I was so sure I was coming home with this $1 million. It's just this mindset. For the Loop carries that mindset because like at the end of the day, like I'm only here for the paper. You know what I mean? Like I love the art. Like I love making music, but ultimately my goal is to like feed my family.
Not work the 9 to 5.
Not work the 9 to 5 at all. And For the Lou is actually funny because I was in Miami with some guys from Apparel, Nick and Lucas, and Nick was on my back. He was like, "You're in Miami. How are you gonna just stay in the house and record all day, enjoy it, write about this experience?" I'm like, "No, Nick, I'm not writing about this experience." He's like, "Write about the experience." And then when I wrote about it, I wrote For the Lou, and it was just like an amazing response. The funny thing is, I wanted to attempt to give that song for Future because I felt like the hook he would have did it better. But when we were talking about it, they were saying that my verse might not be on it, and I couldn't possibly deal with that.
Oh, word.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's in the lane of Future, and that's he's popping right now. So to have anything that it's your own song, but to resemble it, to someone to evoke that emotion, like someone like Future is definitely a good thing. Should be a good thing. It's a good thing to be proud of.
Yeah, man. The actual album though, like in relation to those songs, I'm the Connect is gonna fall in place like at a time where like everything is going bad. Like in the beginning of the album, it shows you like this dark mindset where like everything is against me. So it's the first 2 songs is just more so me against the world, and it's like how do I better my situation? So prior to I Am the Connect, it's a skit where I call an older brother of mine and I'm like, yo, I need to get on. I need to be back in my position. And the minute he says, yeah, I'll help you, you get this sense of power again. This power that you didn't have before, like you're invincible. I am the Connect. You have to come see me. That transitions to For the Loop again, For the Money, and then that transitions to Hottest Nigga in the City, where like now your ego is inflated by these actions that people have like proclaimed as this amazing lifestyle. So now you feel like you're that nigga. You feel like you're unstoppable. But the reality of the situation is that although you're living this lifestyle, you're not really going anywhere. Not much has changed. Not much has changed at all. So as the album progresses, I get a phone call from Nick from Apparel, talking to me about why am I still doing these things if it's not benefiting me anymore. And after that phone call, the album then transitions because now I'm looking at life from a different perspective. Like maybe I don't need these things to be happy. Maybe I should look at other ways to be happy. And I transition my whole mindset, and it eventually transitions into Filthy Rich, where like it's a pure happy song. I just want me and my partner to be filthy rich.
Yeah. I like that. I mean, those are my 3 favorite joints, but I like how you balance it out with some of those. I like how you balance it out with some of those tracks that are more introspective, and you talk about your personal relationship, which has been. I mean, I don't know if people realize it, but it's been a big part of your music. You commented on it a lot, and from the song, it seems like on Amnesia, it seems like you finally have kind of. I don't know if you close that chapter out, but you seem like you're in a better place.
Yeah, I had definitely come to peace with the situation, because not only do I realize that it's terrible to hold emotions for someone, especially if they're no longer with you, I also realized that at that point in my life, I wasn't the best person I could be, and she wasn't the best person she could be. So the best thing for us was to separate, and the separation allowed me space to grow and like understand how to stand on my own 2 feet without leaning on her.
For sure. You do everything. You do music, you do videos, you do graphic design. You definitely made some flyers and stuff for me in the past. You do so many different things. You think, it's great to be multi-talented and have different skills, but do you think that is gonna, you do so much. And we had a conversation. Some people tell you to focus on one thing. Are you gonna just stick to, just making music and finally kind of not let the other stuff go, but give someone else that task?
At this point, like I want to, I want to be able not to have to engineer my own music or shoot my own videos, but it's difficult because like when I aspire to do something, I try to aspire to do it like as great as possible.
Who's
like,
better for the job than yourself?
Yeah, you know what I mean? And not for nothing, like a lot of the times I aspire to do something great, it takes more time than you would normally put forth. And a lot of the people who shoot videos and things, this is not their only job. It's not their only job, so they can't allocate as much time as I would like allocated to that project. So that's remotely why like I choose to do that. And eventually I hope to start a bunch of companies doing all these things. So yeah.
Right. And live performances, you definitely get some of the best live performances, not even from an actual rapping performance, standpoint, but also it's always, with you always bring something, like it's just a surprise aspect, whether it's you changing clothes or, just different things. It's very different than what we see in this era, but also in terms of hip hop. Just talk a little bit about that, because I from performances at church that I've seen, on video to just at, the Mind Spray 1 year anniversary, it's never just a regular performance. It's always, Casso has his own, twist to his set.
When I perform, I always think of like, what is the best way to tell this story? Because when I come on stage, you're here to listen to me rap, but you're not here to just watch a person stand like this, So I evoke all my emotions, whether it be like changing clothes like I did at the Brighton Music Hall. I felt like the attire that I wore in the beginning of that performance, it was a good representation of myself during the songs I was performing. But as it went on, like the person wearing those clothes isn't the same person rapping on these songs. So I have to change. You have to feel this. And most of the energy I give is just like raw emotion, because I want you to feel what the fuck I'm saying. Am I allowed to swear?
Of course, bro.
I want you.
Swear all you want.
I want you to feel what the fuck I'm saying. Whether I'm happy to be a quote unquote connect, or whether I'm sad that like my life is not going the way it's supposed to. I want you to be able to feel that, especially when you're listening.
I mean, you're dropping a project.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna give out any details, but you're dropping it at some point.
Yes, sir.
Once you drop it, what's the plan for that?
After this album drops, I think I'm gonna flood you guys with as much media or visuals, anything that I can to like remind you need to listen to this project. You need to figure out who I am, because again, like this is only like a small piece of my story. The story is much larger than that, and I plan to do so many more greater things. This is just the beginning, but I just want to make sure people are watching as I grow.
Word. Well, thank you, man. Thank you for first video interview.
Yes, sir. First video interview. Thank you for having me.
Lindsey Gamble, Casso, HITP Music, Apparel, Days Before the ROC.
You already.